Hi, guys. Welcome to Cambridge Veritas. To all those teachers on Cambridge Veritas today, a very, very warm welcome. Sorry, my voice was echoing. And to all those students as well on Cambridge Veritas today, a big hug and a warm welcome to you as well. My name is Krishna Triya, and today's session, today's live class, is incredibly special, personally, on a personal level for me, because we're going to be discussing how to become an IELTS trainer. But it is not only for teachers. If by chance you're attending this live class as a student as well, and you're a test taker, this live class is going to be very special for you as well. But why is that? In case you do not know anything related to IELTS, or you sort of want to brushen up your skills about what IELTS stand for, and most importantly, what happens on this exam, this particular session is for you. IELTS is becoming more and more prominent with a lot of immigration laws changing all around the world. Internationally, countries recognize the importance of this exam more so today than ever before. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be laying the foundation of what this exam is all about for all of you. Who am I? My name's Krishna Triya, and you can call me Krish. The live chat is going to be open today, like always. Make sure to put your comments in the live chat. And most importantly, if there are any questions that you see on the screen today, please feel free to put your answers in the comment section. And I'm going to be reading out your answers one by one. If you're able to see me, please do show me a big thumbs up or a big hi, possibly in the chat box. That'd be great. Thank you so much. All right. Let's have a look at what we're going to be doing in this session. I'm going to be looking at my screen one by one so that I'm able to look at your comments as well as we sort of proceed into the session. Let's discuss what the aims of today's live session are all about. So here we go. Number one, first of all, for those of you who are new, we're going to be introducing ourselves. I'm going to be introducing myself as well, in case you do not know me. We're also going to be looking at, we'll play a game. This game is called 12 IELTS FAQs. One more time, we call it 12 IELTS FAQs. We'll understand top 12 questions that people ask all over the internet and have been asking in our private sessions as well for years now. So this particular session will burst all the myths and would possibly be one-stop solution to all those questions that people usually ask about what IELTS really is all about. Besides that, we're also going to be looking at one secret teaching methodology. And any IELTS training, especially for teachers, when you go on to become IELTS experts, is incomplete without this teaching methodology. And that's exactly what we're going to be looking at in the session today. And finally, towards the end of the lesson today, I have something special for you. We're going to be looking at one gift, teeny weeny gift, that I'd like to give you all. All right? So without further ado, shall we get started? Let's see who all are with us. Hi, Praveen. Hi, Suk. Hi, Priya. Good evening, guys. Good to see you all. All right, let's get started. So here we go. I suggest you have a pen or a paper with you, perhaps. All right. The first question, the first game of the day is on the screen. Please have a look. Word of the day is in fact IELTS. It's the celebrity of the day today. What do you think IELTS stand for? What is the full form of IELTS? Without looking on the internet, if you have any idea, can somebody please put it in the comments below for us, please, in the live chat? Thank you. Hi, Jaspreet. Hi, guys. What does IELTS stand for? Hi, Filmy Beauty Lab. It is International English Testing System. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for putting your answers in the chat box. It stands for International English Language Testing System. It is one of the most important exams when you travel abroad for various kinds of purposes. It can be academic, it can also be um, uh, immigration for that matter, or it can be academic as well for that matter. So academic, professional, and immigration. There are various purposes with which people travel abroad. And if you're traveling predominantly to actually all kinds of countries, not only English speaking countries, but non-English speaking countries as well, this exam is mandatory. In certain parts of the world, there's PTE. In certain other parts of the world, there's TOEIC or TOEFL. But IELTS is actually given by millions of people comparatively to those exams that I just mentioned in the foregone statement. All right. So that is what IELTS that is what it stands for. The next game that we're going to play is, because I know there are a lot of teachers with us as well today and students as well. The first game, the next game, actually, the second game that we're going to play is called Introduction. We also call it GTKY. So, can I please request anybody and everybody who's there with us right now to tell us 3 things about yourself in the live chat? What's your name? What's your location? Where are you joining us from? And most importantly, what is your primary goal with IELTS? I repeat, what is your primary goal with IELTS? Do you want to teach it? Are you a test taker? Do you want to get a promotion? Do you want to just do it to improve your communication skills? What is it that you're here for? What is your motivation for IELTS? For example, my name's Krishna Atriya. I live in London. And my motto is basically helping teachers and most importantly, test takers ace it with credible strategies. I became an IELTS examiner long back. I was an examiner for about 3 years, and then I quit because I came to London to do an MBA. And right after doing an MBA, I got into teacher training, which is what I had wanted to get into for a very, very long time, as a matter of fact. And this is what I do today. How about you? What's your story? Tell us in the chat box, please. I'll give you don't have to write complete sentences. So, okay, we have Priya, Jani, Raja, Sukh, Sheikh. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Jaspreet. Hi, Caroline. So we have Tanu, New Delhi. To get certification in IELTS, as I have in PTE, that's wonderful, Tanu. Welcome. Kanchan says, hi, my name is Kanchan. I'm from India. My motto is to get the teaching job in countries where only native speakers are allowed. Kanchan, welcome to Cambridge Veritas. Wonderful. Thank you. We have Merose Vijayavada. I want to get band 7. That's lovely. Welcome, Merose. Then we have Priya, Kerala, improve my skills and score. Perfect. So we have all kinds of people joining in. Welcome. If I've not highlighted your name, my apologies. We have a lot to do in today's session. So let's get started, shall we? The purpose is that we must get to know a little bit about each other and those who are attending the session today. Now, usually, if you've been attending our live classes on YouTube, you must have seen that there's back-to-back activity. But the format of today's live class is a little bit different. In this live class today, if you remember, how many questions did I tell you that we'll have FAQs on? Was it 10, was it 11, or was it 12? Who will tell us? Wonderful, thank you. It was 12. So we're going to be looking at 12 extremely important questions related to International English Language Testing System. We're going to look at that one by one. I will show you the question. I will give you some time to respond to that question in the live chat. If you know the answer, well done, let us know. If you do not know, you can either guess or you can simply say, I pass. That's fine as well. All right, so let's get going. Question number 1. The first question is, when it comes to IELTS exam, when are the exams held all over India? Who will tell us? Please open your live chat and let us know. Thank you, Nagashri. Thank you, Jani. Thank you, Raja. Every month. Thank you, Tanya. Tanu, thank you. Thank you, Caroline. Okay, you guys are right. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So there are 4 things that I want to tell you about this. And this is incredibly important. This is a very important piece of information. When it comes to test days, a lot of people do not know the physical test, the pen and paper test. It usually happens on 3 Saturdays and 1 Thursday. To be more precise, here it says usually on Saturdays and some on Thursdays, but the precise number is 3 Saturdays and 1 Thursday. I don't know if the IELTS, Cambridge IELTS and IDP particularly like Saturdays. There must be some logistic reason, but this is something that you should know and arrange your time accordingly. If you're deciding to do, if you prefer a pen and paper test. On the other hand, when it comes to the online tests, they happen almost every day. Now, there are 2 types of IELTS tests: academic and general. Some people call them academic module. Some people call them academic training. Both are right, they're both same. If you're traveling abroad to study, then you take academic module. On the other hand, if you're traveling abroad for work-related purpose or immigration for that matter, you take the general IELTS exam. If you understand this, show me a big thumbs up in the live chat. Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk about the fees. I repeat, let's talk about the fees. How much is this exam, by the way? Does anybody know? I'm going to be looking at my laptop. Thank you, guys. Jani, Tanu, superb. This exam, some people are saying, this exam costs 18,000 rupees. I repeat, 18,000 INR. It is per test. And the last point that I want to highlight related to this question is booking. When it comes to booking the exam, you do not go to British Council's website because they have stopped taking registrations for the IELTS exam. You go to IELTSIDPindia.com. This is the one-step solution for registering for the IELTS exam. I repeat, IELTSIDPindia.com. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this or a picture of this screen for your kind perusal later. Teachers, how's it going in the chat box? Okay, some people are saying 16, some people are saying 17. Thank you, Hasmat. Thank you, Kanchan. Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you. Perfect. Lovely. So this was the first question. Now there are 11 more questions. I hope this question is sorted. In the middle of the discussion, if you get any questions that you want to ask, please feel free to let me know in the live chat. I'd be happy to answer. All right. Let us move to question number 2. Question number 2 is, how do you become an examiner? Now, this question may not be relevant to students, but a lot of teachers who are watching right now, this question is for you. And if there are students who want to become an IELTS examiner later, Why not? So, how do you become an examiner? What is the journey? What do you think? It's like a secret for a lot of people, especially these examiners are treated like celebrities. What do you think? How do they become IELTS examiners? After all, it is not an easy job. Hi, Kausar. Hello. If you get band 9 in all modules, a lot of people think that. Thank you, Priya. Thank you for letting us know. It's a three-step procedure. I repeat, becoming an IELTS examiner is a three-step procedure. The first step is the most fundamental of all, and that is your education, university level education. You need to have a bachelor's degree, BA, BCom, BSc, whatever. That is the foundation or the equivalent. Step number two, you need to have your minimum teaching qualification. What is a minimum teaching qualification? Either a TESOL or a CELTA certificate. A lot of the people think that there's a big difference between TEFL and TESOL. No, there isn't. TEFL is the industry, TESOL is the certificate in it. But I know there are a lot of providers who have started TEFL certificates as well. In India, majorly, people recognize either a TESOL certificate or a CELTA certificate. That is step number two. This is something that you need to have. Delta is the diploma in teaching English, and it is an international certificate, just like TESOL and just like CELTA. This is step number two. Step number three is, and the last step is, you need, after doing both of these, you need to teach IELTS for a little while and get officially certified. For example, Cambridge Veritas's IELTS Train the Trainer Masterclass officially sort of certifies you. And just like Cambridge Veritas, there are many providers as well. There's a lot of noise in the market. So you must get to know who your trainers are and what syllabi you're going to be taught with during the certification program. So once you have all of these basic components, all you have to do is just get teaching. Once you have about 2 or 3 years of experience, a lot of people will encourage you to have at least 3 years of experience. But if you feel you're confident enough, within 2 years, you can start applying for IELTS examiners positions. But a lot of people think, why do become an examiner? I'm happy being an IELTS trainer, and that's perfectly all right. It's about, some people look at it from the remunerations angle. Some people look at it from just being more developed professionally. And for some people, they are just comfortable helping students teaching IELTS on a daily basis. So different people have different purposes. But monetarily speaking, IELTS examiners make a lot of money. Per exam, for example, if you are interviewing a candidate, because I was an examiner in 2016 and 17, from first-hand experience during that time, you would make, let's say, about 1,000 rupees per speaking test. I repeat, 1,000 rupees per speaking test. So imagine if you take 20 interviews in a day, you've made about 20,000 rupees in a day. So it can be quite lucrative as a career option for a lot of teachers. You just need the right guidance, most importantly. All right, I've done a lot of Paco. Do you have any questions in the chat box? Thank you, Tanu. I hope it helps. Thank you, Hasmat. Thank you. Thank you, Tanu. I'm going to be answering all of these questions as well. Thank you, guys. All right. So this was question number 2. If you've understood question number 2, give me a big heart. Give me a big heart or a big thumbs up, whatever you prefer. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let's move on. Now, this is question number 3. I repeat, this is question number 3. Very important question. A lot of people think that they need to get international certifications, which is appropriate, which is right. And they're really confused. What if they get certified in India? Would it have the same longevity, or most importantly, would it have the same recognition internationally as well? If the providers cover the content that is covered internationally, ladies and gentlemen, with the global certifications, once you're trained and certified, it doesn't matter what part of the world you are in, your certificate is your credibility, and your voice then becomes cherry on top with that, because the way you're able to answer questions during the interviews becomes is the most important element of it all. So the idea is, yes, examiners or teachers that are trained in India can work internationally. And today, there are so many websites out there, such as Cambly, or for that matter, Preply as well. Um, or I think teachanywhere.com is also another website where once you get certified, now on these platforms, the screening process may not be that tough, but students get to know your capability as a trainer once they get trained by you. So the idea is, most importantly, that if you're teaching, if you've been certified in India, today you can virtually work anywhere, either online or offline. What you need to see, again, once again, I'd like to highlight is the credibility of the certificate and your trainers who are teaching you. Sometimes the credibility of the certificate may be good, but your trainers may not be that good, the people who are teaching you. So it's always a good idea to sort of have interactions with them. And that is not to say trainers are bad, but it is only to say, would you be able to learn from a person who, I mean, it's important to see the demeanor of the trainer, most importantly, because you're investing your time, your efforts, and your money into it. So all of these important considerations are very important. Okay? Any questions? You're welcome, Hasmat. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right. Let's move on. So this was question number 3. I'm now going to show you question number 4. Look at the question and tell me if you know anything about it or not. Okay? Here we go. How are speaking tests monitored? Now, this question is for the teachers watching right now and for the students watching. If you take the IELTS speaking test, how are you monitored? What happens? Can anybody tell us in the chat box? Thank you for all your comments. Just looking at your comments on my laptop here. How are the speaking tests monitored? Thank you. So there are 2 things that are important to note here. Number 1, when you speak during the speaking test, the examiner who's sitting on the other side of the table records you. You are being recorded. Every speaking test, ladies and gentlemen, is recorded. Audio recorded, not video recorded. It's important to clarify that. And number 2, please have a look. There's examiner monitoring that takes place as well. A lot of people do not know this. So, for example, imagine you are a candidate, you've come into the interview hall, and I'm the examiner, and I have to interview you. After me, once I have given you a score, there's examiner monitoring that happens as well. That means there's a second layer after me that checks if I have given you the right score or not. If by chance I do not give you the right score, my status may be questioned as an examiner. So it's very, very important that you're trained properly as a teacher, and most importantly as a student anyway. But from a teacher's perspective, you're at risk of losing your status, and therefore it's very important for you that you understand the right methodologies of assessing the student's speaking test, because it's not only you officially, there's another layer after you that's going to be checking if you've marked the student correctly or not. Students think that the examiner right in front of them gives them a band and they get a band score and life moves on. No, IELTS is a very, very legit exam, and there are multiple rounds of screening that takes place. All right. Any questions? Okay, there are some questions. Priya says, I think nowadays it is video calling. That also happens. Yes, that's true. Accent MTI issues are checked. Fluency, that is true. Thank you, Tanu. Fazila says they record it and two examiners assess it later on. Absolutely. Thank you so much. You guys know it already. You guys are really smart. All right. Superb. Lovely. Okay, let's move ahead. This was question number, I actually forgotten, was it 4 or was it 5? 1, 2, 3. I think it was 4. The next question, can I tell you something, is really controversial. Let me show you what the question is. Look at the question, read it yourself. Okay, so this is done. Yes, the same thing that we spoke about. Can an examiner change a speaking task card? To all the teachers watching right now and students as well, what do you think? If you are an examiner assessing the student, can you change the speaking task card just because the students requested that and the student's not able to speak? What do you guys think? Thank you, Fazila. Thank you. Absolutely. The answer to this question is no matter how much you may want to do it, but the answer to this question is a massive, gigantic, big no. Even if the topic is difficult or the student is not able to speak, the student finds the topic unfamiliar, the examiner cannot, I stress on it, the examiner cannot provide a different cue card or the speaking card. Now, then there comes a lot of conundrum, and teachers ask, but Krish, isn't it nice that we support the student and help them practice with various different questions if they're not just able to speak because the topic is really unfamiliar? What do you think? What do we do in that situation? What do you think, guys? There's a big difference, and that is what we learn on IELTS Train the Trainer Masterclass certification as well on Cambridge Veritas. There's a big difference between, I'm gonna tell something really important now. There's a big difference between training and testing. When you train your students, give them a lot of opportunity to fail. If you want to change the questions, change the questions. Make the environment as comfortable as possible for them. Make it safe for them, most importantly. They are not, I mean, at least this is what we do as trainers, and this is how we train trainers as well. The idea is that you need to create a comfortable atmosphere before you can test those skills. You don't test the skills from day one. You have to train the students first before you're able to test those skills for the students. So this is something that you have to, ladies and gentlemen, bear in mind. So yes, you cannot change the speaking task card, but what you have to keep in mind is when you're training the students, I repeat, when you're training the students, keep it soft. You can try doing that. But the moment you get to mocks and tests, you need to be really, really strict, and you cannot do that. Maybe during the training phase, it may still be fine, but not during the mock. So you have to find the right balance as a trainer. Point number 2, limited clarification, and that is examiners may explain individual words. For example, if I'm an examiner and the student is saying, sorry, can you repeat the question again? Or could you explain what it means? So as an examiner, I am trained to explain individual words, just the helicopter view of it, but you can't explain the entire topic, or most importantly, change it like we spoke about in the foregone statement. Okay? This is a big conundrum for a lot of trainers and a big question for a lot of students as well at times. Why is the teacher so strict, or why is the teacher so soft? You've got to find the right balance during the training. It's important. I'm going to look at your questions now. Yeah, it is the sad truth. Yes. Thank you, Priya. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, guys. It is, in fact. But that's how you sort of change things, yeah? Yeah. That's how you balance the you've heard of this phrase in English. It's called good cop, bad cop. So sometimes you're a good cop and sometimes you're the bad cop. So you have to change roles, find the right balance, and that's how you sort of proceed. Okay? Bingo. Lovely. So we are through 5 questions. We're now going to be moving towards the 6th question, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, this question, everybody asks this question when for the first time they take the IELTS test. The question is on the screen. Can an examiner change? This is done. Sorry, my apologies. Is there any difference between BC and IDP exams? What do you guys feel? Is there a difference between the two? BC stands for the British Council. IDP stands for? Everybody knows the full form of British Council. Nobody knows the full form of IDP. And no, it's not International Driving Permit. Sorry. All right, perfect. Perfect. So, is there a difference between IELTS IDP and thank you, thank you. Everybody's right. You guys are right. IDP, ladies and gentlemen, is the sole provider of IELTS exam. That means they are the conducting body of the exam since July 2021 in India. During the COVID phase, IDP had purchased for some 100 crore rupees the rights of conducting the IELTS exam within India. So British Council now may be a training source for students, but you can't go to the British Council website and register for the IELTS exam. So you can't do that. Yeah. Number 2, in India, all IELTS exams are conducted by IDP. And why is that? They are one body that sort of helps ensure the uniformity of the test taking place, the experience that students go through, etc., etc. All right. So once again, British Council, no, because they don't do it anymore logistically. IDP, yes, which is what we discussed in the beginning as well. The next question is actually related to this question. I want you to quickly tell me in the live chat, is the answer yes or is the answer no? Here we go. How do you register for BC exams and how is it different from IDP? I repeat, how do you register for BC exam and how is it different from IDP? What do you think? Thank you. We're just going to reiterate ourselves. British Council does not conduct the exam anymore. IDP, ladies and gentlemen, is the sole provider of the IELTS exam in India. Okay? Point number 2, how to register for the IELTS IDP? You simply visit www.ieltsidpindia.com, which is the one-stop solution. When you are ready to register, this is for students watching us and for the teachers as well, who may want to and have to take the IELTS exam, and click register for IELTS. And that's how you sort of very, very expensive exam, ladies and gentlemen. So it's very important that you're trained appropriately. When I was a young trainer, when I had just become an IELTS trainer, many years ago, I've, in my personal experience, I have seen teachers, I've seen students who have spent 70, 80,000 rupees only on taking the test again and again, sadly, again, because the trainers were not able to train them, or there's a lot of hoax in the market, people claiming that they're IELTS trainers, but they haven't taken the IELTS exam themselves. Now, if you're a trainer who's not taken the IELTS exam himself or herself, that's fine, but it's important that you personally, firsthand, go through that experience as well in case you haven't, because it gives you that first. I mean, how can we preach something when we haven't done it ourselves, right? It's just like that. So the idea is it may be a little bit of a, and it also professionally helps teachers as well. Once you're able to claim that, hey ho, I've gotten an 8.5 or 9 and so module or skill, and in all of them, you're able to sort of put across your a case to, um, as an entrepreneur, if you're an edupreneur, or for that matter, as a professional as well, when you attend interviews, that I've taken the exam myself and these are my scores, etc. So to all the teachers out there, consider taking the IELTS exam yourself. You'll become a better trainer. Before I became an IELTS examiner or an IELTS trainer, I had taken the IELTS exam 5 years before that. Now that was for my personal reason, but that sort of sufficed for the later expenditure that I would have done otherwise if I hadn't taken it before. So this is something, this is an important consideration that a lot of teachers should look at. Okay, thank you. So once again, not BC, it's IDP. Priya says, also pressure from the immigration agency makes students take tests frequently. Yes, that's true as well. And I'm really sorry to know that. Yeah, thank you very much. There's a very important question that please do have a look in the chat box. There's a very important question that Suhana has asked us. Thank you for asking this question, Suhana. What is the full form of IDP? Does anybody know? We asked this question before as well. The full form of IDP is not International Driving Permit. We often make fun of it, ladies and gentlemen. So what is it? It is International Development Program. Around the world, if you say, I'm taking an exam from International Development Program, people may not recognize what you're trying to say. What people do recognize is IDP as IDP and not International Development Program. So that's just for your kind perusal. Okay. Let's move on to the next hot FAQ. Do you have copies of an IELTS band score requirement booklet? Examiners, teachers in the live session with us today, do you have it or do you not have it? Yes or no? Do you have it available with you? Thank you, Tanu, for answering that question. Yes. So the answer to this question is the official IELTS band scripts, ladies and gentlemen. Official IELTS, some people call it band score guides, and some people call them band scripts. Yes, these PDFs are available officially. And if you're connected with us on our WhatsApp channel, in case anybody has a link to it, there are many students that join us almost. If there's any counselors as well in the chat box with us, please do share it with the students. If you're there with us on the WhatsApp channel connected, I'll share it with you guys. It must be available on Cambridge Veritas's website as well, or otherwise on internet too. Band score guides are available to everybody, ladies and gentlemen. For students, if you're preparing for IELTS, this is incredibly important for you. You need to prepare, if you're preparing solo, you need to prepare using band descriptors. And teachers who are watching right now, Your training, wherever you do your trainings from, becoming an IELTS trainer, your training is incomplete if you do not focus on IELTS band descriptors, writing descriptors, as well as speaking descriptors. The entire magic of the entire training that IELTS stands for is hidden in band descriptors. So when you become a certified Cambridge Veritas trainer as well, for that matter, IELTS trainer, you see one of the most important things that the training focuses on is your development as an expert on band descriptors. And this is incredibly, it's got paramount importance. As I said, everything starts with it and everything ends with it. It's available publicly. Whatever trainings you attend, it's important that you go through this particularly. And on your training and on your journey to become an IELTS expert at Cambridge Veritas, this is the be all end all that we focus on as well. Okay. All right, guys, let's move on. Next question is on the screen. Please put your answers in the live chat. What do I do if I have a candidate with special needs? Can anybody please tell me what are special needs? Any examples of special needs in the chat box, please? Live chat. Students can be adults for that matter, or young learners with ADHD, dyslexia, or for that matter, there are so many other classifications of special needs as well. So all kinds of students come, or for that matter, some students may be visually impaired or hearing impaired. So if you have those kinds of students coming in, it's very important for you to understand the right advice that you need to give to your students. So there are multiple things that are done. And as trainers, as a budding trainer, it is your responsibility to offer those students extra time. And as it's written here, typically at least 25% more additional time than regular allotted time. That's point number one that you should remember. Point number two that you should focus on is supervised breaks. What does that mean? It means during the test, offer your students, now these students are with special needs for a reason. The attention span is not that prolonged in comparison to the to the attention span of other students. I don't want to say normal students, but other students. So the important point to remember here is supervised breaks for these students because their attention span is short. Number two, modified listening test. Special version with extra pauses, or for that matter, repeated audio. 95% of the teachers do not do this. However, if you do get a student with special needs, in whatever is in your capacity, you should offer that aid to the students, because IELTS IDP, ladies and gentlemen, in case you do not know, also provides all of these services as well for special needs candidates. Okay, but it does not end here. It's not over. There's more to it. There's computer-based writing as well, and of course everybody knows it today. The use of computer for writing answers, excluding spell checkers, and for that matter, grammar tools. It's not only for special needs students, it's for everybody today. But another important bit here is, please do have a look. Another important bit here is enlarged print papers and Braille version. What is Braille version, ladies and gentlemen? Braille display, ladies and gentlemen. What does that mean? Can anybody tell us in the live chat? Yep, thank you. Some people are not able to speak properly for that matter. Yes, that's true. Thank you. What is Braille version? Yes, For visually impaired students who are not able to see properly, there's Braille version with which they're able to write. Now, as a teacher, it may be very difficult for you to do, but as we said in the foregone statement, whatever is in your capacity that you can support your students, aid them, please do that. Okay. So that was for special needs students. Let's now look at the last bit. Okay, there's one thing that I need to correct here, ladies and gentlemen. Please have a look. Thank you. This question is related to what can you carry in the exam hall? Apologies, that is a typo here. I repeat once again, the question is what can you carry in the exam hall? So the first thing that you have to carry is, ladies and gentlemen, a valid passport. Okay. When it comes to water bottle, it's got to be label free. I repeat, it's got to be label free, or you'd have to leave it outside of the exam hall. And if you do not have anybody, this is for students out there and for teachers as well. And if you do not have anybody who's come along with you to the exam, there are high chances of it being misplaced because there are a lot of people with you. So make sure that you carry a bottle that is label free. Number 3, a lot of people do not know this. Pencils are no more allowed after January 2025 on the IELTS exam. I repeat once again, listen carefully. Pencils are not allowed on the IELTS exam anymore after January 2025. So what do you do? Black ballpoint pen only for the IELTS on paper test for that matter, and pencils are not permitted anymore. And the last bit is wristwatch, and that is for time management. But at the same time, you've got to make sure that it doesn't have any labels on it as well. Okay, I hope it helps. All right. Now this question it's got its answer from the last question. I hope that you've gotten your answer already. Should candidates write in pen or pencil? What is right? What do you think? Tell me in the live chat. Should the candidates write in pen or pencil? Everyone. Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you, Shahana. What do you guys feel? Thank you, Nagashri. Thank you. So, as I said, as of January 1st, 2025, all candidates that take the IELTS exam, ladies and gentlemen, taking the IELTS, especially paper-based test, they require a use of black ink pen for listening, reading, and writing sections. Pencils or personal stationery, for that matter, are not permitted in the test room anymore. They've gotten really strict. Otherwise, it wasn't the case before, but they've gotten really strict now. Okay. All right. We're almost done. I want to show you the last and the most important question. There are a lot of people ask me on LinkedIn, a lot of people ask me on YouTube, a lot of people ask me sending emails. I'm talking about teachers and students alike. And that is, are there any IELTS resources in the My Veritas IELTS TTT online program? Duh. Yes, there are many. There's comprehensive course material that teachers get. Number 2, there's a lot of lesson planning material as well as online tools that you get. Number 3, there's a lot of feedback technique that is discussed. For example, you don't just give feedback to students on speaking without a speaking form. And there's a very important speaking form that we've developed at Cambridge Veritas that teachers are primarily trained on to give feedback to students, most importantly, when it comes to IELTS speaking test. You can't just say you're good at this and you're bad at this, you need to improve this. No, it's got to be written, it's got to be verbal, it's got to be documented. ladies and gentlemen, and there's a form for it that teachers primarily get. And the last bit here is second last, very important. Any training is incomplete without you doing the actual work yourself. So, the most important thing that you do is micro teaching, ladies and gentlemen. I repeat, the most important thing that you do is micro teaching. So, you get the opportunity to micro teach. And finally, the last reward that you get is the Cambridge Veritas IELTS certificate that verifies your credibility as an IELTS trainer, not just in India, but internationally as well. So, this was all about all the FAQs that there are. But there's something more to it. Remember, in the beginning of the session today, I told you that there's going to be a teaching methodology that we'll discuss. Are you ready? There's a game that we're going to play now. Okay. I'm going to show you a definition of this concept. This concept is called loop input. Once again, what do we call it? Loop input. You have to repeat after me. I know you're on the other side of the camera, but you still have to repeat. I can hear you. What do we call it? Loop input. It's a very important teaching methodology. I've written the definition of it, but the game is it's all jumbled. Read the definition, put it in the right order, and type it in the live chat. What is loop input? You have 30 seconds. Go through it. Time starts now. Thank you for your kind words. Waiting for your answers, guys. No, it can't be blue pen. Thank you. Can't be. Sorry about that. I'm going to read it out loud for you. Here we go. Please have a look. In activities that they might later use in their own, loop input is a teacher training strategy where trainees participate, classrooms gaining first-hand experience. So it starts here and it ends here. We know about that at least, yeah? What do you think it is? Okay, Lavanya has something to say. Thank you, Lavanya. Lavanya says loop input is a teacher training strategy where trainees participate in activities that they might later use in their own classrooms, gaining first-hand experience. Thank you so much, Lavanya. Thank you. Let's check it. Loop input is a teacher training strategy where trainees participate in activities that they might later use in their own classrooms, gaining first-hand experience. Can we clap for Lavanya and all the other teachers and people in the chat box, live chat? Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for trying. Thank you, Fazila. Fazila also says same thing. Bingo. Marvelous. Thank you, Fazila. Thank you, guys. Super. So this was loop input. Now the most important bit. When you become an IELTS trainer, or when you're in the process of becoming an IELTS trainer, especially at Cambridge Veritas, during the Cambridge Veritas certificate program, which I highlighted before, loop input is the integral part of it, which basically means you see how the trainer is doing the job, then you have to do the job yourself. That's called observe, demonstrate, and get feedback on it. And there's one more step that's called reflection. You have to reflect on it as well. So in simple words, loop input is nothing but a 4-step procedure. Observe, do it yourself, DIY, demonstrate, receive feedback, and finally, most importantly, reflect. You have to reflect on it yourself. What did you do well? What could have been improved? All of that, ladies and gentlemen, is called loop input, and that is a part of the training, uh, core element of the training. So those people that finish the training, they receive this wonderful certificate that you see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. What is the name of the certificate? Who's going to read? What's the name of the certificate? The name of the certificate is Cambridge Veritas Certificate in IELTS Masterclass, CVIM, particularly for trainers, either experienced trainers or newly qualified trainers who want to teach IELTS and want some credibility, and most importantly, a lot of knowledge, credible, appropriate, right knowledge to teach IELTS. And that's what this certificate gives you. And this certificate is your door to teaching internationally, not just within India, but Middle East, Europe, America. And you may wonder, can I tell you something? Some people may think that people don't take IELTS from countries like Canada or the UK, etc. In those countries, people take it more, all the more. There are more users of them, there are more candidates of them. So, and those kinds of audience ends up paying also well as well if you're teaching online or if you go teach there physically. So, this is what the certificate helps, adds credibility to your resume, and most importantly, gives you that added advantage and credibility in teaching methodologies. Most importantly, let me highlight a few things that teachers get once they earn the certificate. Number one, the international certification. Number two, the access to My Veritas dashboard for 1 year. Number three, 2 weeks. The masterclass lasts for the duration of 2 weeks and it takes place 2 hours per day. So you do not have to take a career break, legit career break, because a lot of the certification programs end up forcing you to do that. Then the entire training is based on TBL methodology. What does TBL stand for? Task based learning. TBL. Next, the most important component that you take part in is called micro teaching. That means you will not get this certificate until you teach in the classroom yourself. So there's micro teaching that takes place. Then there is another addition that has been added recently. For one certificate, you actually end up getting two certificates. How? Because you get, with any of the trainers at Cambridge Veritas with me or with other trainers, CPD webinars. That means after the certificate, you unlock 1 month of CPD weekend webinars. Once you complete all the webinars, and these webinars are not conducted on YouTube, they're conducted on our internal platform called My Veritas app. Once you complete these CPD webinars, you earn another certificate called Teaching Practice CPD, which is Career Continuous Professional Development Certificate for Teachers. There's that. And finally, all of this comes with all the AI features that teachers make use of during their training, exercises, projects, activities for that matter. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, in my case, of course, the trainer is Krishnatriya, but there could be other trainers as well. Whilst I was making the lesson, I thought, why not add my name here? But that is not to disrespect other trainers that we have at Cambridge Veritas, my wonderful colleagues. Thank you. All right. So there's a very, very special discount that there is for the live viewers for today. And that's called the live viewer special 20% discount. What does that mean? It means that for the next 24 hours, I repeat, if you've been confused for a very, very long time and you want a one-stop solution to get your to be a certified trainer, then for all those teachers who have stuck until the end, you've got a very special discount, which is the live viewer special discount. The regular fees of the certificate is 29,999. However, with this particular discount, and I'm going to share the link of it in the chat box with you, with this particular discount, you can enroll on 23,999. So basically, you're saving 6,000 rupees if you enroll within the next 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So you end up saving 5,999. The link of it is available in the live chat for you, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Until I send you that link in the live chat, or there's a button as well that you could go down and see. If there's no link in the live chat, you could access the button as well below. If there's no button, then the link would work. Can you let me know in the live chat, what did you learn from today's session? I repeat, what did you learn? What was the most important thing that is your takeaway from today's session? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm going to highlight what did you guys learn. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Fazila. That's very sweet of you. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys learned. Thank you. So let us know. Thank you. Okay, let's see what people say. People are saying IDP full form. Tanu, we just shared the IDP full form is International Development Program. International Development Program. Loop input. Thank you, Tanu. Okay. Oh, you actually learned IDP full form. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. Priya says that she's got one question. Are the Veritas tools on the website paid or the AI tools? Yes, paid as in once you enroll on the program, of course, they all come free on the Veritas app, so you don't have to pay for any of that. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't come paid. It just comes as a part of the certificate, as a matter of fact. Eligibility to become an examiner. That's what Tanu learned. Thank you. Superb. What about other people? Thank you so much, Fazila. I just looked at your comments. So sweet of you. Guys, let's use this time for any Q&As that you have. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask at this stage, please let me know. Thank you. All right. For all those teachers that are in the group with us and who are joining the course, welcome to the Cambridge Veritas family. The first lesson that we're going to be covering, I repeat, the first lesson that we're going to be covering in your next lesson is going to be how to teach IELTS speaking. We're going to be looking at least 12 methodologies in this lesson that particularly talk about how to assess and, most importantly, target the pain points of students when it comes to fluency, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. A lot of teachers find it hard to teach grammar. So we're going to be talking about some constructive methodologies that you can use to do that. So all of these four things, the strategies, the teaching methodologies that there are, we're going to be covering in the next class. So I'll see you guys, those who are joining the course. Welcome to the Cambridge Veritas family. And those who are confused and still weighing your options, please feel free to. In case you have any questions that you'd like to ask me personally, I'd be happy to help via the platform. Or if you have any questions, please feel free to ask our wonderful counselors, Natasha, Aisha, etc. I'm sure they'll be very happy to help. They're very warm people. And thank you. Thanks so much for your time today. I'm just going to see if you have any questions at all. Okay, cool. Thank you. No questions. Guys, it was an absolute pleasure. Once again, thank you so much for joining me in this lesson, in this live IELTS Masterclass today, beginner session. And I will see you in the live lesson soon. God bless and take care.